Today, our question is, what can we do to help remove toxins like pesticides, heavy metals, and other chemicals from our bodies?
Oh boy, the question of the 21st century. We've really fouled the nest, so to speak. We've been treating the oceans and the rivers like garbage, dumps and toilets, and we're learning that when people go, I'm throwing this away, there is no away. Your away is somebody else's here, and their away is your here, and we're all in a closed system. And as the oceans fill up with plastics and more hydrocarbons show up in the water, it's getting more and more difficult. So at the risk of stating the obvious, one of the first things you want to do is minimize the inflow of toxins that you're taking in. Have your water analyzed. So you can, for 50 bucks or whatever, 100 bucks, get online and you can send off a vial of your own tap water to the water testing place. And find out. And if you've got high levels of arsenic or pesticides in your water, well, find a technology to take it out, whether it's from reverse osmosis or activated carbon filters or whatever. But minimize your intake. Start with your drinking water without question. I remember when organic foods came on the scene in significant amounts back in the 70s. It's a fad, doesn't really matter. Well, now we're seeing that it does matter. The commercial food growing industries spray certain foods heavily with pesticides and herbicides that are, if not frankly carcinogenic, they are mutagenic. They change your genes that call forth the enzymes in your cells. And so if you look up the Dirty Dozen, Dr. Greger has a nice list of them on his website, but it's well known, I think, from the Environmental Working Group. There are certain vegetables that are sprayed most heavily, strawberries, various fruits, various leafy vegetables, etc. Those are the ones you want to buy that have been raised organically. It's expensive to eat this way. No, rice and beans are cheap. The staple foods in a plant-based diet, especially even if they're organic, they're cheap. And if you're not spending money on T-bone steaks and premium ice creams, then you got a few pennies left over to pay the extra dollar for the organic kale and the organic berries. And we want to help support these organic farmers that are taking care of the soils and providing foods that are lower in these kind of toxins. So have your water checked and buy and prepare organic produce as much as possible. But the question was, how do you get rid of the ones that are in your body? And I wish I could tell you, just eat 2 cloves of garlic and wear a rutabaga around your neck, and magically, all these toxins would disappear. But a lot of them are in our tissues. The fat-soluble pesticides that are in our fat tissues, a good reason not to carry a lot of adipose tissue around. Here's another place where being obese is not in the person's favor. We know that obese people get more cancers, and we can talk about hormonal levels, etc. But one reason might be that just the sheer poundage of fat tissue they have means they're carrying around more carcinogenic pesticides and herbicides and similar molecules. And so a lean, healthy body, which is one of the benefits of a whole food plant-based diet, is a good protector against these carcinogens. Plus, if you have extra adipose tissue, as you melt away the adipose tissue, you wind up excreting the toxins and carcinogens from the body, which we'll talk about in a minute. How does the body get rid of these? Well, we've got 3 main organs of excretion, maybe 4. Certainly our kidneys are major organs of excretion. So help your kidneys. And there's 2 ways to do that. One, drink enough water. You want 3 big glasses at least of water every day. And again, we should be consuming a high water content diet. All these soups and salads and steamed veggies means we eat a lot of water, but drink a lot of water. Give your kidneys enough water to make a dilute urine to flush out these toxins. Second, realize that kidneys are pressure-driven filters. They need a head of pressure forcing that blood through the filter mechanisms to make that urine. So how do you increase the filter pressure? Go out for a good walk and as you're, get on the treadmill, get on a bike, go for a swim. As your heart is beating more forcefully and more rapidly, you are forcing more blood through your kidneys. And one reason you come back from that walk and you pee, good theory, while on the walk you pee. That's a good thing. And so give your kidneys enough water and then take them out for a walk and really rev up. It's like taking your car out on the freeway and burn the carbon off the spark plugs. Run a lot of blood through your kidneys. Second organ is your liver. And it's a major detoxifier, largely of fat-soluble substances. And again, you want to get lots of blood going through that liver, have enough water. Healthy fats, a handful of walnuts, a couple of tablespoons of ground flax on your cereals gives enough lipids for your liver to work with to help do the excretion that it needs to do. And again, go out and take it for a walk. The third are your lungs. People don't think of the lungs as organs of excretion. But again, going out for that walk and breathing, lungs are great filters and they help cleanse the blood as well. So getting up that heart rate means you're breathing more quickly. So that'll help. And finally, your skin is an organ of excretion. A lot of these toxins wind up in our skin oils, and then you come back from that walk and you take a shower and you're getting rid of some of the toxins that have accumulated in your skin oils, as well as the cells, the skin cells on the surface as the washcloth or the soapy water washes them away. And people talk about low temperature saunas to get a particular cleansing kind of sweat going. That's all fine. It's that much, but it can be an important avenue of excretion. So minimize the toxins you're taking in, get the water as clean as you can, get your food as clean as you can, and then rev up those excretion mechanisms through your kidneys, your liver, your lungs, and your skin. If you do that, in this polluted world we're living in, you'll have done pretty much what you can do to minimize your toxin exposure. Now, I'm sure there's a literature, certain vegetables may block the absorption of certain toxins. Again, you can drive yourself a little nuts with all this. You're afraid to eat anything. But keep your food and water as clean as you can and use your body joyfully and often in its aerobic state there. Then you're doing all that you can pretty much do to minimize the problem you'll have with toxins that we inevitably ingest.
That is a very hopeful answer. I think, it's all stuff that we can do ourselves. And if we can't do all of them, we can do some of them. And the food we eat, the water we drink, great information.
Absolutely. And find out where your water comes from. Maybe show up at the county meetings and find out if there's pesticides in the water, where they're coming from. Are people polluting the land? What kind of herbicides are they using in the local farmers' fields? Get active. Do what you can do to make your whole community healthier and the water and food sources healthier, and be an active citizen. And that's a great way to practice prevention to make your own metabolism healthier as well as everybody else's.
Hi everyone, Dr. Michael Klaper here, announcing our new format for our Q&A with Dr. K. Annie Hagen will be asking me one question that's been sent in by our viewers. So if you want to see if your question is getting answered, do join us for our Q&A with Dr. K right here. Hope to see you then.